taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, all. Welcome to today's day trading live stream, Friday, February 27th, the last trading day of February. S&P futures down 66 points, NASDAQ down 275, Russell down 41, which is about 1.5%. And the Dow is down to 543, which is about 1.2%. Russell is the weakest. Gold up 1%, silver back up 5.5% over 92. Notes and bonds a little bit green, 10-year yield down almost 1%. Oil's up 3.5%, natural gas up 1.25. Soybeans, wheat, and corn all green. Euro and the pound mixed, a little flat, and Bitcoin down 2%. VIX, the VIX is back in town, up almost 15%. 21.39 at the freeze. SPX, according to TOS option chain, looks like an expected range today of about $52. The VIX calculation will probably be closer to 55. Had a big bounce in Netflix on the news that they are not getting Warner Brothers. Paramount is the winner. Tesla and Nvidia and Meta and Google all pushing new lows as we creep into the open. NASDAQ right at lows, pre-market lows as well, both below yesterday's low. Russell right there, Bitcoin a little bit below yesterday's lows. CoreWeave earnings down almost 14%. That should have gotten into your fly, Watson. That should be into your sweet spot. Maybe too much. All right, there's the bell. We'll be doing a 6-7 put calendar and a 1 DTE, a.k.a. 3 DTE with Monday options. All right, I'm going to make sure my bot's firing correctly. My 1 DTE didn't fire earlier this week for some reason. Give me just a minute here. I just closed that out. It was just a small profit, so I don't really like the double calendar for earnings. It's just not, I don't think it's worth the bang for the buck. All right, here comes my calendar. Here comes my 1 DTE. Get these posted. Then we'll get back to Get back to the day trading here. Okay, got both of those posted. Just check on one other thing here. First move in the S&P and NASDAQ, a little bit of a bounce. All right. One more thing, and then I'll be ready to roll. Apologize here. Okay. Okay. So, S&P, NASDAQ, Russell still bouncing a little bit. As far as Mag 7, Tesla had a little flush, popping back above previous day low. Apple flushing. Meta dipped, but it's trying to get back above previous day low. A couple of the chip stocks, a little aggressive bounce. MU, AVGO, Intel, PLTR is green, heading for previous day high. PLTR definitely showing some relative strength here. I guess I got 0 or 7 DTEs on PLTR, so I'm going to load up some 7-day calls. I would use the 140s. On the financial front, we've got big banks coming down, all down about 3% or so. JP Morgan's down 2.5%, Bank of America down over 3%, Goldman Sachs down 3.7%. Crypto's just kind of choppy but weak. So PLTR and a couple chips are the ones that showing any relative strength right now. And then Tesla kind of had a little flush and pretty aggressive bounce coming in. S&DK and MU both pumping. PLTR pushed up to previous day high and then it's kind of pulling back a little bit. Nvidia at lows. Apple super weak. Netflix is up 8.5% from the gap up, but from the news, but it is not super strong since the open. S&P's a little dip getting bought up. Same with the NASDAQ. PLTR popping back up. PLTR popping back up. I'm watching PLTR for an entry. 7 DTE 140s. Getting a bounce. I'm going to take PLTR. So starting to had a little pullback, but popping back up towards previous day high. I want to see a push through here. I like it. I like it on the daily chart as well. It's showing relative strength as long as this market doesn't roll over and die. I would expect PLTR to kind of, it's acting like it wants to lead the way anyway. S&P and NASDAQ dipping again. A little bit of a rejection in PLTR. Russell down to pre-market lows. Crypto's going to lows. All right, seeing some weakness come in here, so I may just cut PLTR if it doesn't hold, which it kind of looks like it is, but we'll see. It'll be a quick cut. S&P, NASDAQ dropping, all the indices dropping, big banks dropping. Tesla back down below previous day low. All right, watching PLTR here. It's back down to previous day close.
Order filled.
Tesla breaking lower. All right, I got to cut PLTR. It's taking a shot that we were going to have a little strength after this big gap down, but more weakness.
Order cancelled.
I'm going to load up some Tesla puts here. I would use the 3 DTE. I would use the 400 puts in Tesla if I take it. So S&P ticked below pre-market lows. Let's see if it was just kind of a head fake here. Kind of an aggressive bounce coming in after that pre-market low flush. IWM still holding weak. NASDAQ kind of popping back up. Tesla popped back up to previous day low. I want to see if Tesla reacts negatively off this previous day low. I will take those Tesla puts. Google acting strong. I'm watching Tesla. Okay, we're getting a bounce here. I'm also going to load up some 7 DTE puts in hood. I would use the 75 puts. Oh, hood broke. All right, I'm still watching Tesla at previous day low here. PLTR popping back up. It's pretty choppy here. Pretty choppy, except for IWM. It seems like it wants to know. It knows it wants to go down. Okay, so Tesla. Watching Tesla. It's kind of reacting off that previous day low. PLTR popping back up. Google acting strong. Big bounce in Apple.
Filled.
Big bounce in some of these chips. And NASDAQ getting a big bounce. Nice new break lower in Hood. Hood staying weak. SPY pretty choppy, IWM weak, and NASDAQ acting a little stronger. All right, I'm still watching Tesla.
Order filled. Order filled.
Big volume on that NASDAQ bounce as well. Microsoft bouncing. Decent bounce in Meta. Nice bounce in Apple. Google staying strong. All right, Tesla's kind of dipping again here. Watching Tezzy. Getting a little dip in the indices. Yeah, Tesla's just too choppy here. AMD back down, MU dipping, so some of the chip stocks coming down now. All the big banks still super weak. Goldman down almost 5% now. PLTR kind of rejected again. I need to see S&P outside of its first 5-minute range if I'm going to do anything else. Kind of took an early shot in PLTR. Got chopped up. I'm going to wait. Tesla is just choppy. I'm going to wait. NVIDIA just chop. Tesla's still kind of holding below, showing a little bit of weakness come in the indices. Russell's at new lows. We had PPI pre-market. We don't have anything coming out at the 9 a.m. Central time slot. NVIDIA cracking lows. That hood short would have been a good one. Just couldn't get my options loaded up in time to actually pull the trigger. Just choppy, choppy, chop. Russell coming down to, what is that, 224
Market
lows.
data connection lost. Market data connection re-established.
Bitcoin at lows. Intel and SMCI are both green. PLTR still chopping around unchanged. MU still pushing up towards highs of day. Same with AVGO. Meta kind of bouncing off of previous day low. MU through highs, Intel through highs, SMCI through highs, AVGO through highs. So some of the chips getting a little strength. NVIDIA bouncing. All right, getting a little bounce here. NASDAQ back up towards highs of day. Same with S&P, both at the top of their chop. IWM even bouncing. Bitcoin bouncing. Big banks not really bouncing. Hood, not much of a pop, kind of bounced back up to pre-market highs. Let me keep an eye on Hood here. All right, little bounce. Little bounce continuing. NVIDIA starting to bounce. NASDAQ above previous day low. S&P can't get above it. It's getting rejected again here. Tesla up to highs. S&P still hovering at its highs of chop. Not the kind of day you want to put a bunch of money into directional trades, my friends. This is not what you're looking for. NVIDIA, solid bounce. All the chips bouncing. Leading the way is Intel and SMCI. MU still red, but it's acting strong. Same with AVGO. Trying to figure out what I want to do with this monster time machine I've got going here. This is 4 different positions. If I hit it, if I let it expire and it hits between 70 and 90, that would be almost 15K. I'm up about 8,800 right now. It is the last day of the month. I'm definitely not going to let it all go to expiration, because if we have a big move, I don't want to get wiped out of a bunch of profit that I already have. So I'll probably start scaling out of that throughout the day. If you haven't registered, make sure you register for that class on Monday. S&P now pushing through previous day low. Chips still popping. Yeah, really all the chips are the ones moving higher here. Everything else is still in chop mode. MU just went green. Intel, SMCI extending. SNDK just went green. Yeah, those were all double calendars that I transformed into risk-free iron condors. I was just showing you kind of a conglomero of all my positions expiring today. Oh, sorry. I think, I don't think it's Monday, right? Is it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday the 3rd, sorry. Well, my friends, I don't see much. Maybe a pullback in MU. Meta couldn't get through previous day low. Big bounce in IWM. Looks like it just wanted to get down there and hit that 260 level. SNDK, big pop. All right, all. I'm gonna wrap the stream here. I don't see anything I want to get into. I will keep an eye on MU if chips stay strong and I can get a pullback for a decent entry. Otherwise, I just don't see anything I'm interested in at this point. We'll see if the indices continue to stay strong with this bounce or not. Kind of looks like they're getting a little aggressive to the upside. Otherwise, we'll plan on seeing everyone in Power Hour. Have a great last trading day of February. Cheers.